I am Dr. Charlene Green, co-founder of Second Shift Playbook, a membership community working to meet women at the intersection of work and home life, their second shift. My co-founder, Dr. Allison Mathews, and I wanted to create a community of professional women supporting women as they juggle their second shift of work, home, and family responsibilities.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, there was an unprecedented mass exodus of an estimated 2 million women from the workforce. Even as we have seen a rebound in the economy, women continue to leave the workforce due to stress, burnout, unequal pay, and a desire for better work-life balance.
Last evening, President Biden gave his State of the Union address. Second Shift Playbook was listening closely, looking for policies and legislation he would discuss that involved women and children. Second Shift Playbook overwhelmingly was extremely invigorated and pleased by his laser focus on the uplifting, transformational policies he recommended for women who are moms, either stay at home, in the corporate workforce, or launching careers, or retiring.
The mental health crisis among professional women in the United States is reaching alarming levels. The pressure of balancing a demanding career with the second shift of home and family responsibilities can be overwhelming. This is where Second Shift Playbook steps in, offering a supportive community for professional women striving for work-life balance, financial well-being, and the dream of homeownership.
Many American women live paycheck to paycheck, just like most other Americans, irrespective of their location, rural, suburban, or urban. This financial instability is further compounded by the culture of corporate greed, price gouging over humanity in grocery, farming, meat packing, and processing companies in this country. The heavy burden of student debt due to sky-high college costs, the exorbitant cost of childcare, which may take up to 30 to 50% of living wages for some working moms, very little paid time off, increasing maternal and infant deaths, that is preventable, and a dearth of hospitals in rural areas particularly, and maternal health care deaths in rural communities. Reportedly, 3 billionaires make more than 50% of the entire population of the United States of America. 16 billionaires reportedly make more money than 4 billion inhabitants of this earth. The whack-a-mole of state laws stripping women of their future livable wage opportunities, jobs, and rights to make decisions for themselves only add to this burden, making it clear that federal solutions are absolutely necessary, not just states, to address these systemic issues.
We are reminded of our Second Shift Playbook member who was recently forced to take FMLA to care for her newborn baby because her supervisor refused to approve flexible work from home schedules because she could not afford the exorbitant cost of child care services while also living in a child care desert. Too many women must face the decision to care for their children or loved ones over staying in the workforce. Recognizing the unique challenges faced by professional women, Second Shift Playbook is committed to providing resources and support to help our members achieve their financial and homeownership goals. We offer workshops and webinars on self-care, mental health, sleep and sleep hygiene, financial planning, debt management, launching your own business, improving credit scores, and understanding the housing market. Our community fosters a space for sharing experiences and strategies for navigating this second shift.
Comprehensive federal policy reform is necessary now, not later, everybody. Senator Katie Boyd Britt, the Republican junior senator from Alabama, did the rebuttal for the President Biden's State of the Union address. And I must say, I felt spewed a dark message of fear-mongering and of a handmaid's tale-like message. It was pretty dark, and I'm not sure what the mom target audience was supposed to be. The dark messaging I think many of us heard as moms appeared to remind many of the Willie Horton boogeyman message long ago, that brown or black men harm people out of proportion to other men. This is an age-old tactic that harkens back to Emmett Till and so many others who have been used as racialized pawns to justify violence and oppression. Egregious in these depictions, the focus many times are minority men, particularly Latino or African American men, but data actually show otherwise. These types of racist depictions need to stop now and need to stop harming men.
Yes, the horrific assault Senator Britt discussed at times happens to all women, not just white women or migrants, but all women. We need to educate and address why and find solutions to help all women. Domestic and sexual violence are horrific and unacceptable, and policies and legislations need to be enacted now. Approximately 77% of domestic violence victims are assaulted by someone they know, not a random stranger who happens to be an immigrant. This statistic underscores the prevalence of intimate partner violence or family-related violence over incidents involving strangers. Women need to vote this fall to ensure their voices are heard. Most women believe federal laws should be passed by Congress to protect women.
President Biden mentioned the need to better enforce the federal enforcement of the Violence Against Women Act. Reportedly, 172 Republicans voted against reauthorizing it in 2021. Despite Republicans using dog whistles to incite fear against the undocumented immigrants and framing them as rapists, we need to ask the question why they continue to vote against common sense policies that protect women's safety and their children. Clearly, we see that women are not a priority for some lawmakers.
President Biden announced the first White House initiative on women's health research. Women have been under-researched, and many of the innovative drugs on the market did not have women in their target studies. So it's clear that many drugs on the market may be ineffective for women.
Big pharma and researchers need to be held accountable for this neglect. President Biden should be congratulated for this transformative initiative, for it will absolutely save more women's lives. For example, minority women, particularly African American women, were left out of much of the breast cancer research long ago. The physicians and patients treating women who are hormone receptor, better known as HR positive, are devastated because they have worse outcomes than white women. Also, I need to mention that one of the most profound laws that was passed by President Biden and his team was able to negotiate certain drugs for elderly Medicare patients, most of which was insulin, which now costs $35. So it saves elderly and Medicare patients millions per year. In addition to that, there are other drugs that were enacted. Many of them were blood thinners that actually will save lives in the future. We hope that we can get the federal legislation passed so that all drugs can be negotiated. But hey, not just Medicare, but all pharmaceutical drugs.
Absolutely. Comprehensive federal policy reform is necessary now, not later.
Second Shift Playbook supports the administration and his team in the following federal policies and laws based on what was said last night. Paid family leave and act to support caregiving. U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021 and the most recent Bipartisan Immigration Reform Bill, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that would strengthen the 1965 Voting Rights Act and give voter protections that would address voting purges, focusing on women and minorities, and the Freedom to Vote Act, which would help women by ensuring Congress and state lawmakers stop discriminating against the elderly, the disabled, and stop dark money and foreign influence on campaign finances. But more importantly, rid America of gerrymandering voting districts by having bipartisan independent commissions, no matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican state, and to draw districts that are fair so we can finally select our Congress, meaning women can finally select their lawmakers and not be gerrymandered by these lawmakers and exclude women's voices.
We need you to apply to become a member of Second Shift Playbook to ensure that all women's voices are heard. Visit www.secondshiftplaybook.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to get involved.